You know what I've always found crazy in real estate? Those that aren't selling much real estate are so daggone busy they don't have time to do anything. The more they're struggling, the more they have excuses of life is in the way, you don't understand my position, I got so much going on. Meanwhile, the top producers are going on vacation all the time, and I'm talking about top producers that have no team members. Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single week to help you in growing your real estate business. Today, we're going to talk about the facts. The facts are that you are making excuses for yourself. Same reason you don't have time to make money is the same reason you don't have time to meal prep or to exercise or to kiss your spouse or to do whatever you should be doing in life. You've got an awful lot of excuses for yourself, and you know it's BS, and nobody believes it more than you. You know, the top producers that I found, and I'm talking specifically those that don't have team members, those that are solo entrepreneurs. They've got more going on than anybody. I just spoke with one, I guess it's been close to 2 weeks ago, at least 10 days ago. I spoke to one of our members who has a mother she has to take to dialysis twice a week. She has an autistic child. She's got a lot of stuff she's dealing with a divorce. She has a lawsuit from the other side of she has the buyer, the seller was suing, and that got her involved, and all kinds of issues going on. And she's crushing it every day. She doesn't have any problems. A lot of that comes down to how you structure your day, what your time blocking looks like. You need to have hard start times, but you also need to have hard stop times. And I think that's something that really stands in the way for an awful lot of people. They don't know how to stack their day rather than saying, okay, I'm doing that at 10 o'clock, so I know I have time to do this at 1. No, you do not. You're doing that at 11. And you're stacking something else on top of that and something else on top of that. Our COO, Nicole, she's going to be doing a full training on this week, actually, for our Inner Circle members on our coaching call this Thursday. We're going to be talking about that time blocking because it's so wild to me that I see agents that are struggling and they'll have all the reasons they don't succeed. Like, I'll give you an example. Here's the perfect example. They love to buy books. They certainly don't like to read them. They like to own books. They like to be working on it, to have 3 different books. They've read 1 chapter of this, 3 chapters of this. They're to the 5th chapter on this one, and they just got a new book in the mail today. Like, you are never going to catch up. You know why? Because it's not on the schedule. You're literally trying to do it when you have free time, and you don't have free time. Nobody has free time anymore. Then you look at your phone. If your phone shows you that weekly update of, what kind of activity you've had, you're like, oh my gosh, I spent 16 hours on TikTok. Okay, well, how much did that pay you? I spent 11 hours on Facebook. Oh, well, how much did that pay? Oh, I do some stuff on Facebook. Shut up. How much money did it make you? Because you might be creating the illusion of movement, but not actually creating forward progress, not being as prolific as you can possibly be with every single day. So a lot of times it's just structuring how you're going to work your day. And listen, nobody wants you to succeed more than I do. The reason I give you these step-by-step approaches, call out the BS that we tell ourselves, and then give you the actual structures that you need to have to do better. The reason we do that is I want you to succeed. But a lot of this comes down to not how you wake up in the morning and start your day, because you probably screwed up with how you went to bed last night. So you're not going to wake up. You probably screwed up with what you've been doing with your business over the last 90 days, so you didn't sleep real well. You've heard me say before, you don't have a problem with insomnia. You have a problem with broke acidness, right? The circus starts in your mind when you lay down, and that's the reason you don't sleep well. The only reason melatonin or anything else that you would take or whatever, alcohol, whatever the case is, the reason those things work is because it makes you stop thinking. It literally tranquilizes you so that you'll stop thinking. Like, you can have the fear of death, and if we put you to sleep, if we use some type of drug to put you to sleep, of course you wouldn't be thinking about it anymore. What if we fix the real problem? Rather than the Band-Aid, what if we fix the problem so we can get a better night's sleep, so we can start the day the right way, but then structure it accordingly? Guess what? If you look at CNN and Fox News and even CNBC, guess what's on there today? None of your freaking business. That's what's on there. Nothing that's your business. It's everybody else's business. Now, okay, so we're not going to do that. Okay, next thing we do every morning, let's check our email. Guess what's in your email box today? Everyone else's agenda, not yours. What other people want you to do, not what you need to do. So now, what are we going to do in the morning then? Well, you don't need to check your bank account. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do otherwise. You should have structured that weekly on the time where you're working on your business rather than in your business. So we certainly don't need to do that in the morning. What the heck are we going to do? Sounds like we're going to have to work, not do the illusion of movement, the check on this, double check that. Let me check my social media. Oh, I got some messages here. Let me clear out all this spam. Oh, I got 386 messages in email, and one of them has anything to do with business. Maybe these are what the problems are. Because what you'll find is those that are the busiest, those that are really closing deals, making lots of money, doing what they're supposed to do, they are the hardest to distract. Like me as a real estate coach, if I emailed them, my email would never be opened. They're as busy as they can be. They've got their blinders on. They only see the race in front of them. They're not looking at all the other distractions that are out there. So I want you to think about this in your own business. Are you allowing those distractions? There's a lot of things you can't allow in your company. And I'm not talking about in your corporation. I mean around you. You can't allow that to accompany you every day. If that distraction is your pet, if that distraction is your spouse, like the next time your spouse comes in and asks where their keys are, you have permission to throw something at them. Do it softly the first time, but explain to them your job is not to help them to live, to figure out how you're going to eat something today. Figure it out. You're a grown adult. Don't come in and disrupt our critical thinking stage, our working on our business stage, for a stupid question like, do you know where I put this? You know what I'm going to say? Where did you leave it? Are we going to do that again? What do you want for dinner? I don't care. What do you want? I don't know. You picked last time. Well, I don't care. Okay, how about Taco Bell? Well, I don't want Taco Bell. Are we really going to do that? How about figure it out? Because we're trying to get rich here. We're not doing the illusion of movement with activities that we're just making things happen and we have all these distractions. You got to get rid of the distractions. That's why you see, I don't care if it's a powerful man, if it's a powerful woman, if it's anybody that's successful in business, they're very short-fused, they're very short-tempered, and they know this is how it's going to work. And if you're not on the bus in the right seat, you're getting off the bus, and we're not slowing down to let you off. We're throwing you off the bus. You're going to play by our rules or you're not, because this is where we're going. And it's so important to do that. And the problem is, in real estate, as an example, I don't know the exact year. I think the average realtor is 54 or 56 years old in America, which means they may have one spouse that's retired or semi-retired. You know what that means? Distraction all freaking day if you're working from home. So what you need to do is get a very good lock on the door and get some sort of electrical device that you can put on the door handle in case they try to open a closed door. They should know better. It only hurts the first time because they'll never touch it again. And if you get serious about your business, you can actually be a good worker. As if I were paying you $20 an hour, I wouldn't allow your spouse to come into work and ask you questions all day. I'd be like, what are you doing? You're stealing from me. I'm paying you $20. If I were paying you $15 an hour, you're stealing from me if you just have to run to the store real quick. Not on the clock, you're not. Oh, I just have to run down and run an errand. I got to get my nails done. I got to have, this is the only hair appointment I could get. Well, then you don't have any hair until you can find someone else that can do your hair. Because it's so important for you to guard your time as CEO of your business. It's your responsibility. So all of these things that happen, right, when something's thrown at you, it's not your problem, but it is your responsibility. You do have to handle it correctly. You have to know how to navigate those things. So I think that a lot of times structuring your day and even clear down to structuring your evening will affect the next day. Structuring your marketing campaign for this month and for the entire quarter will affect the way that you're handling things each and every day, how productive you really are. Now, keep in mind that if you do this the right way, and Nicole's going to be talking about this on Thursday's Inner Circle call, if you go about this the right way, you have more free time than you had before. When you look at those that are truly prolific, that they're getting more done, they're running multiple businesses, they also got a household, they get their kids off to school every day, they're making dinner for the family, they're handling the sick loved one, they're handling travel and vacation and all the other things that they want to do. How do you think they make it happen? Because the trains run on time around here. There's no train that's ever late. It's exactly on time. This Friday, I'm meeting my brother to look at some horses. We've got a yearling auction coming up for some of our race horses here. And he said, well, what time should I be there on Friday? I said, I'll be there between 1:35 and 1:37. Make sure that you're not late. I've already structured what my day, my morning, how much I need to stuff into that. I'll get more done before noon than I would usually do in a day because I'm going to need the afternoon. And I will quite literally be walking through the door, traffic included, got stuck by a train included. I will walk through the door between 1:35 and 1:37. I could show you the text right now. It's how we're structured. If he's late, he's going to have hell to pay because he knows what my schedule looks like. If you're going to be productive, if you're going to be prolific, you have to run the trains on time. You need to stuff those things tight together. I didn't tell him about 2 o'clock. I'm not doing this. Maybe 2. I'll be there early. Oh, I'm going to be another 30 minutes. What are you doing? It's the definition of broke. If you're broke right now, it's the greatest statement in the world because it would imply that you need fixing. And it's not going to work until you fix those problems that you have. So we see it happen all the time. And by the way, it's very fixable for every single agent watching this right now. This is a very fixable thing. It's just changing the habits that you do every day. And if you do this consistently and you see how much more you get done, I already know that you know how to do it because look how much you get done before you go out of town. Look how much you get done because you got to catch a plane tomorrow. Look how much you get done because you're not going to be available or because you're going on vacation. You get more done in one day than you usually do in 2 weeks. And the sole reason for that is you put the blinders on. Nobody else can bother you. Hey, do you got a minute? No, I don't. I'm really busy right now. And you're right back at it. What if you do that all? Look at a top producer. That's what they do. Look at anybody that's successful in life. That's how they live their life. They're short. Let's get this done. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's not be lollygagging around in it, still having a conversation about that's over. Let's keep on moving. If you do that, you see a massive difference in your productivity levels and your production as a real estate agent, the number of families that you're able to help, the amount of money that you're able to make. It's happening because you're shoving more into a shorter period of time. You can keep the brain moving forward rather than harboring something that bothered you from when you were 17 years old or from 2 weeks ago or whatever the case is. Right? So for an example I've always used, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek joke, but like if you're going on a long trip with your girlfriend or your boyfriend, what's the best way to ruin that road trip? You can start by saying, this 2-hour trip seems like a really good time for us to sort out that argument that we had 2 weeks ago. I'll guarantee you, whoever's the most productive doesn't even remember what that was. Doesn't even recall that it happened because you got to keep moving. You got to keep doing something productive. The other person, every time something's said, is that referencing that argument that we had 2 weeks ago? Are they saying that because, well, they act like it didn't even happen? No, it's water under the bridge. Well, the same is true for your clients that you have. A seller takes their home off the market and you think that they're totally in the wrong and you're in the right. How long are you going to harbor this? Joe Montana, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, he said one of the biggest success secrets to being a good quarterback is having a very short memory. You have to have a very short memory because when you hike that ball, you have to forget that you threw the perfect pass to the receiver and he dropped it last down. Because if you do it this time, 5 seconds later, if you throw it differently, you're going to get intercepted. He's not going to catch it. You can't start to baby that thing because you remember what happened 2 plays ago or even the last play. You have to completely forget about that and you have to start this entire play over. You've heard before with a baseball analogy. You've heard someone that's on a hitting streak or someone that's in a slump. The reason they're in a slump is because when they're going up there, they're thinking about that last bad argument they had with their success. They're thinking about the fact they've struck out 3 times in a row and people are starting to boo them because everybody knows they struck out 3 times in a row. If you can forget that, you can hit a home run. But otherwise, you're going to stay in your slump. It's going to be horrible. As a real estate agent, what do? We start getting that stinking thinking. right? We start the woe is me. Everything's bad. Everything's always goes bad for me. Why do I have such bad luck? Well, it's not going to change until you change it. All of a sudden, one good thing happens and you're on a hitting streak. You're hitting home runs again. Things are going great. You think it's the greatest thing in the world and it starts to scare you because, oh my gosh, this means something bad's going to happen. You're damn right it is. A lot of bad stuff and a lot of good stuff. You get to decide what you're going to harbor, what you're going to hold on to. So the quicker you can get that out of your mind and have a clear mind for your agenda, the day that you're structuring for yourself, the marketing agenda you're putting in place, how you actually accomplish things, you move them from your to-do list over to your to-done list, and it feels really good to get that done. One thing Nicole always did, she uses the whole Post-it notes, and once she gets something done, she crumbles it up and throws it on the floor near the trash because she wants to pick them all up at the end of the day to show that she actually got all of this stuff done. The to-do list goes over to a to-done list, and until all of those notes are gone, she has a more efficient way now. She'll talk about that Thursday. But until all those notes are gone, the job's not done. No, we don't have time for lunch. No, we don't have time to go talk about something over here. No, we don't have time to see what's going on with the news or to check social media. Do you see what we have to accomplish today? It's right here in writing. That's how you get more done. She's a master at that. We've gotten really good at teaching agents specifically how to do it. We're actually going to be doing it this Thursday on the Inner Circle coaching call. So when you guys log in at gregluthercoaching.com, of course, I'll be sending you a link. You got to be on this call. You want to be asking questions on how do I trick myself into getting more productive? How do I trick myself into staying away from all these distractions that I think are so important when I promise you, if all of us were in a room together and everybody threw their problems up in the air, you'd be reaching for yours if you had to catch one. You wouldn't be reaching for theirs. Their problems are oftentimes a lot worse than what you have to deal with. I can't tell you, again, the realtor is an aging population. And I can't tell you how many realtors that we have, members with us, where their spouse just recently died. They're dealing with an estate. The spouse's brother or sister is being a jerk, and it's very difficult to deal with. And now they're a sole income, and they depended on that Social Security and all of those other things that are happening. And they're still out there crushing it because they can stay focused on what they need to do and then still time block for family, legal issues, grieving, whatever it is. You have to know how to compartmentalize and to make sure that everything gets done and the trains still run on time. It is crucial that you do that. So we're going to really go into detail on it, go over some checklists and some tools that you can utilize. I think Nicole, she's done this at a lot of our private events. I think she does a really good job of kind of describing how all of that works. So I want to make sure that all of you are on the call. If for some reason you're not a member with us, just go to lutherinnercircle.com. If you do join up, you're going to be on this Thursday's call. But it's crucial for everybody to succeed. And it's going to come from you getting out of your own BS excuses and believing that, well, Greg, I know that everybody says that, but my situation really is different. You don't think everybody says that? You don't think there's other people that are far busier with far more important and pressing things? You think nobody else has drug-addicted family members, sick family members that have to go to the hospital, someone on oxygen at home, problems with their children, legal issues, all of the things that can happen to collections, everything that we have. Everybody has to deal with that. It's how you compartmentalize it, give it the time that it needs, give it the allotted time, but make sure you know how to turn it off as well so you can turn on the things you need. By the way, if bad stuff's happening to you, I got some news for you. You're going to need more money. Oh, my husband just found out that he's got a rare form of, hold on. Sounds like you're going to need more money, huh? Oh, I just found out that the IRS says that hold on, don't tell me. Sounds like you're going to need more money, huh? Maybe we ought to focus on fake. I got this problem. I'm not sleeping real well. Hold on. Sounds like we're going to need more money. There's an awful lot of things that making more money is going to help you to sleep a lot better, to handle the things you need to handle, and to take care of your loved ones. So maybe you need to get focused on not stressing about the slump, figuring out how to hit some home runs so you can do what it takes to be the hero, to be the MVP. That's what it's going to take. Being a strong CEO will, in fact, make you an MVP. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Let me know your comments below. Do you find that you get stressed by a lot of the distractions that come into us as a realtor? Are you finding that you delete rather than unsubscribe? Why are you doing that? Why are you deleting emails? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. You know they're coming back tomorrow. No, when you unsubscribe, they're not coming back tomorrow. Stop it. Stop it. Stop telling me, no, it's not different for you. If you'll go in today and you'll unsubscribe from 10, I guarantee you'll wonder why your email box is so small tomorrow. And then if you do 10 more that day, you'll wonder what you're going to do with your time if you get rid of those 20. I'm telling you it's the case because we've done it for 2.5 decades. Hopefully that's of service to you. I want you to succeed more than anybody you know. Get out there and